morning, Eureka John, Eureka Street Crypto Hub. How you doing, weirdos? This is February 27th, 2021. One day before the end of February already in 2021. I'm broadcasting live from Leander, Texas, a suburb of Austin, Texas. And yeah, you're here with me early on a Saturday. I can't eat sleep late if I want to. So let me get this camera set up. Ta-da! Alright. So yeah, back at it again in the morning time. Like always for the past, I don't know, it's going on a lot of days now that I've been doing this every day in the morning. And kind of just, yeah, here I am. Alright, so anyway, let's look at the prices. We have Bitcoin at $47,523, $47,478.30. Ethereum at $1483.98, and Cardano $1.44, up 54% in the last 7 days and 28.4% in the last 24 hours. Cardano is making some moves. I've seen a lot of hype going on all over Twitter about Cardano. And Polkadot, $35.27. Binance Chain up here at number 4 spot, $230.98. Got XRP over here at 44 cents. You know, somebody yesterday on one of these crypto shows and podcasts made a good point. With all the stuff that XRP is going through right now with the SEC and just the FUD and everything else, and it is still maintaining itself in the top 10. It shows some resilience, and that, you know, regardless of what people may think of XRP, that is something to be said for the project. Litecoin at 175.76. I'm not really a follower of Litecoin. It's never been one that has really interested me all that much, but a lot of people love it, so, you know, all right. Chainlink at 25.90. I am a big fan of Chainlink, but you know, again, I've seen Chainlink do these types of patterns where they, you know, kind of settle at one point for a while, then they'll spike up really high, then they'll dip down about halfway between when it previously was to when it spiked up to. So, and it'll sit there for a while, then it'll go through another spike. And I've seen this happen 3 times now since I've been following Chainlink, so I can definitely tell it's kind of a pattern now. And then we have Stellar at number 2 at 43 cents. Stellar and XRP are kind of like siblings. So they both kind of solve some of the same issues, and they have kind of the same type of following. So yeah, anyway, I won't get into the weeds too deep. I do have 2 topics I specifically want to cover today. One is I need to go back once more to Hedera Hashgraph and talk about their consensus protocol and consensus mechanism. And then 2, I want to talk about the Flote App, which is a decentralized social media platform that I have recently fallen in love with. So let's go back to the comment on my Hedera Hashgraph video, and let's see here. Somebody made an amazing comment, Coinman the HBAR, and he said, "Thanks for covering Hedera. I love the tech too and don't have major gripes about the council, who are a diversified bunch from different sectors, different continents, and different worldviews. I also feel the 10K TPS FUD is unwarranted. The point of Hedera is not on-chain smart contracts, it's CaaS, consensus as a service. In this respect, Hedera can handle a throughput of 10K plus TPS easily. With sharding, the sky's the limit." The Eureka moment, they got me on that, is when you understand that the point of Hedera is not to be another smart contract platform, but simply a plug-in consensus engine that cannot be manipulated for practically any application you can think of. And this definitely gave me the Eureka moment that I needed to fully understand what Hedera Hashgraph is. And all these people are trying to compare Hedera Hashgraph to these other blockchains and other TPS transactions per second of other projects, and that's not what Hedera Hashgraph is trying to accomplish. they're trying to basically be a plug and play type of consensus mechanism service. And in order to completely understand that, blockchains, they all have a consensus mechanism in which all the nodes have to come into consensus in order to add another piece to the block or another block to the chain. And it's a way of fighting, or a way of creating security on the system. And here I had to go back in and revisit the website and look at how it does that. And a lot of blockchains can outsource in a way their consensus mechanisms, so they don't necessarily have to just rely on their own. And so here I went to Wikipedia and just brushed myself up on what consensus mechanisms are. I even went deep into the world of Byzantine fault tolerance and brushed myself up on some of this and filled in some of my holes of some of my understanding of what the Byzantine fault tolerance is and stuff like that. A lot of people think Byzantine fault tolerance is just the amount of malicious nodes that a network will accept. But it explains it in nice visual terms what the Byzantine fault problem is, Byzantine fault tolerance, and the Byzantine generals problem. And I thought it was a really good illustration here. Okay, so imagine there's a group of Byzantine generals and they want to attack a city and they're facing two very distinct problems. The generals and their armies are very far apart, so centralized authority is impossible, which makes coordinated attack very tough. And the city has a huge army, and the only way they can win is if they attack all at once. And I picture all these people trying to surround Constantinople. And if you know anything about Roman history or Byzantine history, you know that those walls, the Theodosian walls around Constantinople, were massive. They were, in terms of meters, the inner wall was 80 meters high. Then they had a trench and then another wall that was 20 meters high. And then they had a trench and then another wall that was about 8 meters high. And a meter is about 3 feet. So 20 meters high, that's a 60-foot high wall. 80 meters high, that's a 240-foot high wall. And then the outer wall, the 8-meter wall, was 8 times 3. Okay, so you can imagine how tall all these walls and these trenches in between. And then if you're a soldier caught in one of those trenches, and you get all this hellfire of arrows and lava and everything being pulled onto, even if you make it over one of the walls, then you're screwed and you're basically a dead man if you get caught in between one of those. So in order to be able to attack that city, you had to have a lot of people, just mass herds of people coming down on that city to overwhelm them, and they all have to make sure that they're coordinated. In order to coordinate, they have to communicate all back and forth to each other and make sure that there's no traitors, because if everybody says that, if the main general says that they need to attack on Wednesday, they all better be sure to attack on Wednesday or they're dead people. So their life depended on it. So in the same thing with a consensus network, in order to formalize a block or a transaction, in order for it to be accurate, they all need to be coordinated and make sure they're coordinated. And Hedera, back to Hedera, this consensus mechanism allows it for it to be quasi-public. I would say it's kind of a hybrid public blockchain where you have Corda and these other ones, Hyperledger and Quorum. These are all private blockchains. You have Hedera that can be the consensus mechanism for these blockchains, and you see Hyperledger goes through Hedera consensus service, Hedera mainnet and mirror nodes, and it allows these private blockchains to have a consensus service as well. So, and the way I say it, it's kind of a hybrid or semi-private, is because there are the council of 39 validators on here that are the consensus mechanism, and they're all very, very large companies, but they are all different types of companies all around the world. So some people could say, yes, they are a very diverse set of companies, and it is not fully but Guy from Coin Bureau does bring up a good point. How do you know all these people just aren't running their own centralized servers and stuff like that, and not using the Hedera code? So that's a valid point, but all these companies are very different types of companies all around the world, and they're only allowed terms of 3 years each. 2 terms of 3 years each, and then they all have to rotate around and then bring in new people. If I were a company, I could request to join. I certainly can't request to join as an individual, but maybe I will. Hey, John wants to join and be a validator from his house, and but no, that's not going to happen. But yeah, so that's basically what that is, and it was just kind of a Eureka moment, and I got the name Eureka, Eureka Street Crypto Hub, because my whole interest in blockchain started from when I was living on Eureka Street in Austin, and down in South Central Austin, and it was an amazing house. I lived there for 13 or 14 years or something, and then also Eureka ties into my old studies of ancient Greek and in seminary, and Eureka means I found it in ancient Greek, so that's why that. And so now when Coinman the HBAR said the Eureka moment, I was just like, man, I like this guy. Hey, all right. And then he really did give me a Eureka moment, that the point of Hedera is not on-chain smart contracts, and that's what everybody's trying to compare it to. It's CaaS, Consensus as a Service. In this respect, Hedera can handle a throughput of 10,000 TPS easily. With the sharding, the sky's the limit. The Eureka moment is when you understand that the point Hedera is not to be another smart contract platform, but to be a plug-in consensus engine that cannot be manipulated for practically any application you can think of. And there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is what Hedera is, amongst other things, but that is what makes it stand out. So anyway, now I'm going to move on. I found yesterday, as I was browsing around, and I was going to talk about CBDCs again, but I'm just not going to talk about CBDCs because I'm not I just don't have enough I don't have enough knowledge on how all this stuff works. I mean, I guess I need to study more on the system, and exactly what I did with this consensus mechanism is go back and kind of give myself a little primer, and I will put these links in the video description on some holes that I may have gapped. And you can see here, right here, another diagram of the layer 2 permission networks working with the Hedera consensus mechanism. Anyway, so I had to give myself a primer, but so I'm not going to cover these CBDCs until I can kind of give myself a little tutorial session on how all these banks work together, because that is a huge topic in itself. So let's move on. I found the Flote app yesterday, which is a decentralized social network, and I went in and created myself a profile, and you can post your videos here. So this is my morning crypto show, born in Austin, live every morning, rooted, real, rad, Eureka Street Crypto Hub. And I might add, I would like to think of this show as lo-fi high-tech. So that'll kind of be my little Jingo logo, I think. And anyway, I did post the Hedera video on here, and so check it out. It's a decentralized social media platform. You can stick links to all your other social media outlets right here. There is a wallet, and right here, a Bitcoin wallet, and you can send and receive Bitcoin. You can find topics by hashtag right here, and it gives a bunch of recommended stuff. Of course, I like all the anarchist and libertarian and all that type of stuff. But there's a bunch of different topics. I've been finding a bunch of people on here that I've recognized from other types of projects. And then they're also having a huge float fest coming up in about 8 days, kind of near Austin here. It's a big camp out, and I thought I would attend, but I got a couple kids, and it doesn't seem quite like the festival I would really want to bring my kids to and camp out at. I don't know, but if you're sick of this COVID lockdown and you want to go to a big festival and have some fun, this looks like if it looks like something that might be your shtick, check it out. It's in Gauss, Texas. I don't even know where Gauss, Texas is. Let's see where that is. Gauss, Texas. And Milam County. What the? Texas is so big. I've lived here practically my whole life, and I still, find new cities and towns and places, and yeah. My God. Oh, okay. All right. So it's in between. Come on, catch up. It's in between Austin and College Station. It's kind of near College Station, which is where Texas A&M University is. So it's kind of, and here's Thorndale, where Elon Musk is going to put his next big old Tesla plant and all that stuff. So it's going to be interesting, and a lot of stuff going on in between this sector right here. So yeah, back to the Flote app. They're having their Float Fest, and this is kind of right alongside the Anarchapulco Fest down in Mexico, and days of fun, food, and freedom, plus live streaming direct from Anarchapulco. Anyway, back to the Float beta. It's just looks like a really good alternative to Facebook and Twitter, and it kind of takes the best of those worlds and brings them together, and puts them all in one decentralized app where you don't have censorship, and you don't have people trying to read all your messages and determine whether or not you're some kind of terrorist or something. All right. So you can learn about that. There's several videos on it on YouTube. I watched this one, Girl Gone Crypto. I did follow Girl Gone Crypto. She seems to have some pretty good videos. And then there's an interview with the founders of Flote App here, Aaron and Kingsley Edwards. And all this is very new. This video here streamed in December, so it's also new. So everything's new. This is good stuff. So, and I watched this quick little video on just some features, and so give it a whirl. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty stoked about this. So I think that will, okay, let me look at my Twitter bookmarks real quick. I did find here this handy little beginner's guide for NFTs. I know NFTs right now have been a hot topic in all crypto media because somebody recently just spent $6.6 million on an NFT that featured Donald Trump naked, face down in the ground, and a jogger going by. Not necessarily I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump by any means, but I just, you would want to spend $6.6 million on hate, on just negativity. It just seems like a big waste of money and a big waste of life. I don't want to spend any money on negativity or hate. So, but it does bring to light, though, the popularity of NFTs. And another thing, too, is regardless of what you think of NFTs, and NFTs, if you don't know, they are non-fungible tokens, which is basically a lot, in this case, is a lot of digitized motion graphics and art that has a crypto hash associated with it, so it cannot be duplicated. So it is a one of a kind. Kind of like a baseball card. Billy Hatcher here. And this is a one-of-a-kind baseball card. Well, I mean, there's a lot of this one, but this is number 261. It's kind of what an NFT is. And people are creating these series. CryptoKitties is one of them. There's Cardano Kids. There's the Don't Buy Meme series. There's Leo Trades' Super Swap. And he has his own series. I mentioned all this stuff in a couple videos back. But that's what NFTs are, and people are buying and selling them on OpenSeas.io and Rarible.com and stuff like that, and SuperRare.com for a lot of Ethereum. And interesting stuff to see, and it is also educating people on what fungibility is. And when you understand the concept of fungibility, then you can better understand the concept of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is a fungible token. You can send someone one Bitcoin and they send one back, and it will still be one Bitcoin. The value might change depending on the exchange depending on the time between exchanging Bitcoin, but it is essentially the same. You can also send or receive any part of a Bitcoin measured in Satoshis, as fungible tokens are divisible. Non-fungible tokens are not divisible in the same way as you cannot send someone part of a concert ticket. Part of a concert ticket wouldn't be worth anything on its own and would not be redeemable. So, in short, that's just basically what an NFT is. I'm going to keep this video short today. I appreciate you guys checking it out. Oh, what's up, Charles Glay? Let me throw this guy some T-Fuel here, and thanks for checking it out. So he's got waving the Irish flag, so I guess you're from Ireland? Cool, man. Right on. I've been to Ireland. I went to Dublin and I loved it. Me and my wife went before she was my wife, and I definitely want to return back and see the rest of the island of Ireland. It is an amazing place. All right, so you guys have a good day, good Saturday. There's a boxing tournament in my gym tonight, and I'm going to take my daughter and go watch that. I'm too old to compete. I'm 45, but I like helping out a bunch of the kids there and sparring with them and having a good time in that way, and hopefully get some skateboarding on Sunday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on Sunday morning, and we'll have a little bit of Sunday morning crypto church. And I'll be spreading the crypto gospel. All right, man. Just like Michael Saylor, Saint Michael. All right. I will talk to you guys later.